The wind carries dust and the smell of cut stone. A man kneels on a bare hilltop, both hands pressed flat against a pillar of limestone 3 times his own height. He has never seen a field of wheat. He has never touched a clay pot, a wheel, or a written word. And yet here he stands, raising a ring of stone giants out of the rock beneath his feet. This is a hill in what we now call southeastern Turkey. The year is 9,600 before the Common Era. This is Göbekli Tepe. We were taught a simple story. First, humans learned to farm, then they settled into villages. Then, with full bellies and time to spare, they built temples to their gods. Göbekli Tepe breaks that story in half. Because here, the temple came first, long before the first farmer. What made hunters move mountains of stone for something they could not eat? The answer changes where you believe civilization actually began. To understand what you are looking at, forget everything that came after. There are no cities, no writing, no metal, no pottery, no planted seed anywhere on Earth. The people who built this were hunter-gatherers, following herds of gazelle across the hills of the northern Fertile Crescent. They ate wild game, wild almonds, the seeds of wild grasses gathered by hand. Their world was made of skin, bone, wood, and flint. And on this hilltop, they built in stone. Göbekli Tepe, the name means potbelly hill, rises above the plains near the modern city of Şanlıurfa. Beneath its surface lie great oval enclosures ringed by massive T-shaped pillars of limestone. Some stand 5.5 meters tall. Some weigh as much as 10 tons. Each one was cut, shaped, and dragged into place with nothing but stone tools and human muscle. Here's the fact that should stop you. This place is older than Stonehenge by more than 6,000 years. Older than the pyramids of Giza by 7,000. When the last pillar was raised here, the monuments you learned about in school were still unimaginably far in the future. Picture the work. A band of perhaps a few hundred people, drawn from across the region, gathering here for a season. There are no draft animals, no ox, no beast of burden anywhere in the human world. Every stone is moved by hand, by rope, by rolling log, by the pooled strength of dozens of bodies, pulling as one. In the quarry a short walk away, one unfinished pillar still lies in the bedrock where it cracked and was left behind. Had it been raised, it would have weighed close to 50 tons. The air rings with the sound of flint striking limestone hour after hour, day after day. Chips of white stone scatter across the ground. Dust settles into the creases of every hand. These people built no shelter here, no wall for defense, no home. They spent their strength across many lifetimes on something they could not eat and could not live inside. Now look at the pillars themselves. They are not blank. Across their surfaces moves a stone menagerie carved in low relief. Foxes with bared teeth, wild boar, cranes, snakes pouring downward like water, scorpions, vultures with wings spread wide. These are not the gentle creatures of the farm because the farm does not yet exist. These are the animals of the wild, of the hunt, of danger, and of death. And the pillars are more than posts. Many carry human arms carved along their sides, hands meeting at the front, belts and folded loincloths cut into the stone. They are beings, faceless, towering, watching in silence over whatever happened between them. One German archaeologist called this a cathedral built by hunter-gatherers. But that word feels too soft for these stones. This was something stranger and older, the cathedral of the hunters, raised by people who had not yet planted a single seed. For most of modern history, no one knew any of this. In 1963, a survey team walked across this hill, saw the broken slabs, and dismissed them as a medieval graveyard. Then, in 1994, a German archaeologist named Klaus Schmidt came to look again. He recognized the shape of a buried T. He later said that within a single minute, he knew that if he did not walk away at once, he would spend the rest of his life on this hill. He was right. Schmidt dug here until his death in 2014. Ground-penetrating radar revealed the true scale of the place. As many as 20 enclosures still sleep beneath the soil. In more than 20 years of work, he uncovered only a fraction. He believed it would take generations more to finish. There is a darker thread here too. On one pillar, known as the vulture stone, a great bird spreads its wings, and below it stands a headless human figure. Among the ruins, archaeologists have found fragments of human skulls, deliberately carved with deep grooves, evidence they believe of a skull cult, a ritual handling of the dead we still do not fully understand. And they did not only build and bury the dead here, they gathered. Excavators have found great deposits of butchered animal bone, gazelle, aurochs, wild sheep, and enormous limestone basins that may once have held fermented grain. The picture that emerges is a vast seasonal feast, hundreds of people eating and working together in the shadow of the pillars. To feed a crowd that size in one place again and again, you need more food than the land freely gives. And that pressure, the pressure to feed the gathering, may be the quiet hinge on which the whole human story turns. Here's where everything turns over. In the Crocodile Mountains, in this same corner of the world, geneticists trace the ancestry of domesticated wheat, the einkorn that would one day feed the first cities on Earth. The trail led them here, to the wild grasses of these very hills. Think about what that means. The oldest farmed wheat on Earth was born in the same land as the oldest temple on Earth. And Klaus Schmidt drew the conclusion that reversed a century of theory. First came the temple, he said, then the city. Perhaps these hunters did not settle down and then build a shrine. Perhaps they raised the shrine first and to feed the crowds who came, season after season, to move the stones and honor the dead. They began, for the first time, to tame the wild wheat around them. Not hunger driving belief, belief driving the invention of farming. The temple may have grown the field. You carry this hill inside you. Every time you gather with strangers for something that feeds no one, a service, a concert, a monument, a shared silence in a great stone room, you are doing what these hunters did on this hilltop. Building meaning out of stone and effort and belonging. We tell ourselves that survival came first and everything else followed. But the oldest thing human beings ever built together was not a farm or a fortress or a house. It was a place to stand before something larger than themselves. The need to gather around the sacred may be older than the need to eat what you have grown. It may be one of the first things that ever made us human. They raised these giants for reasons we will never fully read. They carved their fears and their gods into the stone. And then, after more than 1,000 years, they took everything they had built, the pillars, the vultures, the watching faces, and they filled the enclosures with earth and rubble by hand until the giants were gone. Schmidt believed this burial was deliberate. We do not know why, but it is the reason the stones survived, sealed in the dark for 11,000 years, waiting. Before the wheel, before the word, before the harvest, there was the temple, and someone kneeling in the dust decided it was worth everything.